Scam alert. Do not give money to Goyim Defense League or Handsome Truth.
Court not in session, the Honorable Marni Bryson presiding.
Hello.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi. 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 We're having a jury trial. I'm not doing bench.
Okay. This is a second-degree misdemeanor, the attempt.
Oh, it is?
Yes. The information I believe is charged as a first-degree misdemeanor, but since it's the lesser of committing or dumping.
What is it? It's charged as a first, but what?
It is a second-degree misdemeanor since it's an attempt.
Oh, so
The maximum is the 60 days or 6 months probation. The state would be ready to go forward on a bench trial. Our witnesses will be here around 9:15.
okay.
Good morning.
You can have a seat.
Where? Here?
At the table.
Yeah, you can stay here. I'll run this line.
All right, on Jennifer Smith, can you reset that to jury trial November 7th? 9. All right, so, Mr. Kim, it's come to my attention that this charge is charged as a second-degree misdemeanor, so the state has agreed to go bench instead of a jury trial, if that's what you would like to do.
Okay.
The state would just ask for around 10 minutes for our witnesses to be present.
That's fine, so we'll have to wait for the witnesses to get here at 9:15. And again, because I've already gone through a full Feretta hearing with you, I found that you were competent to represent yourself and you were freely making that decision. Is that still what you wish to do, is represent yourself?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can have a seat.
What?
All right, I think it will be helpful while we're waiting for us to go over, because Mr. Kim is not a lawyer, and I don't know that you've read the jury instruction, the instruction that the court is bound to follow as far as determining the facts or applying the facts to the law in this case. I want to read to you what you're charged with, which is attempt to commit dumping of litter.
Your Honor, I have a copy of the jury.
Okay, that's fine. We'll give them to Mr. Kim. I'm going to read it to you just so that you know. It gives you more of a roadmap that you'll be able to understand why certain questions are being asked and maybe what is relevant for you to ask. To prove the crime of attempt to commit dumping of litter, the state must prove the following 2 elements beyond a reasonable doubt. 1, David Kim did some act toward committing the crime of dumping of litter and went beyond just thinking or talking about it. And 2, he would have committed the crime except someone prevented him from committing the crime of dumping of litter. The crime of dumping of litter is defined as dumping litter in any manner, and an amount exceeding 15 pounds of weight but not exceeding 500 pounds of weight, and it not for commercial purposes. And 2, in or on any public highway, road, street, alley, or thoroughfare, including any portion of the right-of-way thereof, or any other public lands, and not in containers or areas lawfully provided. Or 3, in or on any freshwater lake, river, canal, or stream, or tidal or coastal water of the state of Florida, including canals, or, yes.
There was an updated jury instruction that was sent that removed that portion and added a sentence at the end, if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
The only changes start that portion.
Yeah, because there's no allegation of water in this case. Number 3, in or on any private property without having obtained the prior consent of the owner, and such litter caused a public nuisance or was in violation of any other state or local law, rule, or regulation. Is this This is in Atlantis, allegedly, correct?
This is in West Palm Beach.
There's West Palm Beach. Okay. So I don't even know. I know that there's a state statute relative to litter that we're going off of. We're not going off of any other municipal code.
Correct.
It is a defense to the crime of attempt to commit of dumping of litter if the defendant abandoned his attempt to commit the offense or otherwise prevented its commission under circumstances indicating a complete and voluntary renunciation of his criminal purpose. Renunciation is not complete and voluntary where the defendant failed to complete the crime of unanticipated difficulties, unexpected resistance, a decision to postpone the crime to another time, or circumstances known by the defendant that increase the probability of being apprehended. If you find the defendant proved by a preponderance of the evidence that he abandoned his attempt to commit the offense or otherwise prevented its commission under circumstances indicating a complete and voluntary renunciation of his criminal purpose, you should find him not guilty of attempt to commit dumping of litter. If the defendant failed to prove by a preponderance of the evidence that he abandoned his attempt to commit the offense or that he otherwise prevented its commission under circumstances indicating a complete and voluntary renunciation of his criminal purpose, you should find him guilty of attempt to commit dumping of litter if all elements of the charge have been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Dump means to dump, throw, discard, place, deposit, drain, discharge, or dispose of. Litter means any personal property, garbage, rubbish, trash, refuse, can, bottle, box, container, paper, tobacco product, pharmaceutical of any kind, tire, household item, shed appliance, mechanical equipment or part, building or construction material, tool, machinery, aircraft. Sorry, did I miss wood? Wood, motor vehicle or motor vehicle part, including a truck, trailer, or motorhome vessel, aircraft, farm machinery or equipment, sludge from a waste treatment facility, water supply treatment plant, or air pollution control facility, or substance in any form resulting from domestic material and domestic, industrial, commercial, mining, agricultural, or governmental operations, but excluding permitted, regulated, or authorized drainage, pumping, or runoff of surface water or stormwater. Motor vehicle means an automobile, motorcycle, truck, trailer, semi-trailer, truck trailer, or semi-trailer combination. When any litter is thrown or discarded from a motor vehicle, the operator of the motor vehicle commits the crime of dumping of litter. So those are the elements of the crime that is charged. Mr. Kim, do you understand?
I hear you.
Okay. But do you understand what I just read?
I understand what you're saying is I'd like to make a motion to dismiss.
All right, I'll hear your motion to dismiss.
The go ahead and no, we know what you're up to. So let's establish that first because everything.
What did you say?
The going no. Do you know?
I don't know who you're speaking about.
Do you know what going means?
No.
Oh, that's very interesting. It means it's I guess mixed Hebrew Yiddish, reincarnated Hebrew for non-Jew.
Okay.
Yes, it's a very derogatory term spoken by a Jew.
Okay.
Okay, so David Ehrenberg,
Right.
he's the one who he upcharged this ticket. He's a Jew.
What does this have to do with your motion to dismiss, I must ask?
No, it's just to establish that the going and know what the Jews are up to. I like that to be entered into because everything that follows, it builds upon that.
All right, everything, as I told you last time, is being recorded and is on the record. So everything you say is on the record.
And that's another motion to dismiss we have to deal with. That's next, is why can't I record? Because the access to the recording is too hard and there's no video.
There is video.
Well, I still haven't gotten, I requested a digital download from the pretrial and I still haven't gotten it.
They haven't sent it to you yet?
No.
Well, I don't know if they're backed up there or what's going on, but they will send it to you if you properly requested it through the proper channels. I'm not going, that motion to dismiss is denied. What is do you have a legal motion to dismiss based on what the charge is?
Yeah, because the charge comes from David Ehrenberg, a Jew, and the goyim know what the Jews are up to. That's the established, what we have to establish here.
I disagree. Your motion to dismiss is denied based on the argument that I've heard. Do you have anything further?
No, that's
it? Okay.
A motion to dismiss, another motion to dismiss. Why can't the access to the recording is too difficult.
Well, it hasn't, the policy of this courthouse, the 15th Judicial Circuit is that everything is reported through court reporting, and also the video and the cameras that you see, you can see some of them over there and throughout the courtroom. They do record everything when someone is speaking. That's where the camera goes to. So you can order the video. You cannot use your own GoPro recording device. It's just not the policy that we have in this circuit, and I'm not going to violate that policy based on your request.
Okay, but now that we've established that the goyim know, then the video is actually protection, right? Because the access is too difficult. I still haven't gotten, I've requested the recording, so I motion a continuance. I haven't gotten the recording yet.
Tonight.
Why? I haven't got the recording. Please, I need an explanation, and I'd like to have it in writing, because this is the evidence. The goyim know what we do here is evidence going forward.
Everything is being recorded, like I said before, and I've already denied it, and I'm not going to grant any further continuances.
Okay, but motion to dismiss because there is treasonous behavior going on here, so it's for protection. So we have to be able to record ourselves because it's for our own protection. We know what you're up to because, right? Come on, it's ridiculous.
Who's you? Who are you talking about?
The Jews, the ADL, David Ehrenberg, person who brought these charges. Now,
Okay.
I have the right to see, to face my accuser. Where is he?
He's not your accuser. It's the people of the state of Florida that have filed this charge, and from the filing department. I know you think it's Dave Ehrenberg. He is the elected state attorney, but he's not the person on the indictment or on the information. It's the state of Florida.
He signed the charges. I have a right to face my accuser.
He didn't sign the charges. Michael Preusz signed the charges. That's the filing. That's
how do you spell his name?
Kridos. And he's the filing attorney.
Okay. Regardless, treason of Mike Kurdos, I motion to charge Mark Kudos with treason, upcharging. The Jews did it. The propaganda is about you, so there's a conflict.
I'm without any jurisdiction to charge anybody unless I'm holding someone in contempt or indirect criminal contempt. So I am not the person that would be charging anyone with treason, and on a state level that wouldn't happen either. That's a federal charge. So.
I'm not asking for you. I'm asking that we record it.
It's recording.
Yeah, but I like it in writing signed. I would like it in writing signed because this is evidence.
What are you talking about? What do you want in writing and evidence?
I want to what was I motioning? Oh yeah.
You want something recorded?
Yeah, charge Mike Kurdos with treason.
That's been duly noted on the record that you want Michael Brito's charged with treason. I understand.
Okay.
All right.
So getting back to the recording, right? It's for my protection.
It's for the recording of the record so that we have a sufficient appellate record should you wish to appeal or should there be any issue during the trial. The record is not just, it's for the protection of all parties.
Yeah, but if the access is too difficult for me, and I don't see any video. There's no indication that there's video, so it only says digital download on the website.
There is video and there is a record, and you will be able to access it. I'm sorry that you weren't able to get it since pretrial. We just had pretrial last week.
I know, so why is this another motion to dismiss process? It's too soon after pretrial, and plus there's another case that has a trial scheduled for 10-4. What is that all about?
That's for another litter charge.
It's highly irregular. And let's have that for the record. Motion dismissed. Due process. Irregular.
Well, there's two separate incidents, which the state claims that you attempted to litter or you did litter. So they charged you on two different dates for two different criminal counts. That's why they charged it that way. If it would have been on the same night, maybe not. I don't know. But that's not going to be a motion for a dismissal.
Is it not the same night? No. I think it's the same.
Well, I don't know why they charged it that way then. Is our next case coming up on a different date, or is this the same night in a different place?
I can double check right now, Your Honor.
Yeah, what's happening?
If it was in a different place, sir, then that might be the reason why it was charged in two separate counts.
I believe it is a different incident because there's two more co-defendants for that case that weren't present.
Can I get the date? You have the date there?
Well, we're talking about another case now. We're talking about the case that's set for trial October 4th. Right now, let's stick to this case.
Yeah, but we have to establish that these are different cases.
Well, I'm sure that they are if there are two different co-defendants on your next case.
Yeah, but we still haven't dealt with the issue of the recording. For my protection, there's
I have dealt with
treason going on. There's treasonous behavior going on. It's the Constitution. This is a constitutional matter.
I've already told you that there is no treason going on, sir.
This is free speech matter. Probably.
That's not what the state is alleging. They're alleging that you littered. It has nothing to do with the content of what you put in those materials. That's not even relevant in this case. It's not relevant
Exactly.
It's not relevant what you feel about Jewish people. I don't really want to.
I know, but so we have to establish that it's not free, because if it's free speech, then this whole littering case is moot. Don't you agree?
No, I don't, because
if this is free speech activity, a protected activity, then the littering charge is moot. Is that not correct?
No, that's not correct, sir. If they can prove that you littered, okay, it doesn't matter what you said in that litter. It doesn't matter if you said that you love Jewish people or you hate Jewish people. It wouldn't matter if you said you love President Biden or if you hated President Biden. It wouldn't matter what you said in those pamphlets. If it is found to be littering, and that's contrary to Florida state statute, that is what the state is saying that they're going to prove. So it doesn't matter what you said. It doesn't matter if it's protected speech or not. Believe me, I'm sure you would have been charged with something much greater than littering if in fact your speech was trying to incite violence, which apparently they decided it was not. So that's why you're being charged with littering.
Have you seen it? It's factual.
I've seen it. I've seen it, sir. It's not my place to determine whether or not your personal, religious, political beliefs or any of those things are factual.
So we have to establish first if this is probably a protected activity. Then
No, we don't have to establish that.
Yes.
That's already been established. Listen to me. Stop. Okay, let's stop raising our voices. Listen to me. I've already explained to you that I think that nobody in this room is alleging that what you have said is protected speech, or else you would have been charged with something different. You're charged with littering. You're charged with littering because of the way that the state says that you passed out these pamphlets in these bags on these people's yards without their knowledge and without their permission. That's what they're alleging. And whether or not they can prove that by evidence is to be seen. And that's why we're here today. When I say they, I mean the state.
But see, now, I have a right to face my accuser.
Right, and your accusers are sitting right behind this table, and the witnesses that are going to give testimony are going to be coming in here today to be sworn in, and they will sit on the in the witness stand and give testimony under oath, and you'll be able to cross-examine them.
Can you be more specific as which desk?
They're sitting right behind this desk.
This desk?
Yes.
And who's this gentleman?
They represent the people of the state of Florida.
Who's this gentleman?
That's Mr. Gimbel and that's Ms. Diaz.
That's who?
That's Mr. Gimbel and that's Ms. Diaz.
And Your Honor, to answer the question earlier, the other case that the defendant is charged with happened on March 11th. This case happened on March 18th. So they are from different incidences. There's also 2 more co-defendants that weren't charged in this case for the March 11th.
Different, and I have this information. I have both informations. Okay.
And then for the contents of the litter, the state has.
Okay, hold on.
Don't interrupt. I will. You know what? I'm going to be polite to you and let you speak, but you do not interrupt when somebody else is talking.
For the contents of the litter, the state has advised all of our witnesses that we will not be going into the contents of the litter because the defendant is only charged with attempt to commit the dumping of litter, not anything that's within the litter.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Kim, what did you need to say?
I need a clear explanation in writing why video is not, I can't video the proceedings for my own protection because we know that David Ehrberg is collaborating with the ADL and other members of the court are collaborating with the ADL, a known criminal foreign entity hostile, censoring, responsible for censorship in this country. The ADL, Anti-Defamation League. Are you familiar with that?
Sir, I'm not here to answer questions for you as to what I'm familiar with and what I'm not when it comes to something so irrelevant to this littering trial. So I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to give you anything in writing relative to videos. I'm not going to give you anything in writing as to recording. I've already explained ad nauseum to you that those things are going to be available to you, but you're not going to have the ability to video it on your own. So that's the ruling.
I want you to suspend.
That's granted. That's denied. I've already granted your.
I'd like the explanation in writing clearly because this is going to be evidence for a treason charges or lawsuit and charges, criminal
That's
charges.
denied.
I motion to continue it. I don't have the recording for the pre-trial. What happened?
That's denied.
It's too soon. I don't have the recording.
Oh, it is.
You can't just say it's not. I need a written explanation clearly, and it's.
I can't, and I have. It's denied. It's denied.
Which is the clear? I don't see a clear explanation. What are the clear grounds? I don't see it.
Your Honor, if I may, the state would object to any continuance from the defendant based off him not getting the recording from the pretrial, as that's not any evidence that would prejudice him in the matter for today.
Why with that? Why is that? She just says it, that it would not prejudice me, but it
It
would.
wouldn't prejudice you because the only thing that we did at pretrial was say that you were ready for trial and that we were proceeding to trial and that you didn't want to take any offer from the court. That's all that was said at the pretrial, sir. There's no evidence. We didn't have any evidentiary.
You said that you agreed with me that littering can't be used to abridge free speech. That's what I want.
Well, I am saying to you that littering and the free speech that you allege in this case have nothing to do with one another. And then I told you, I told you already today, the content of the alleged litter is not going to be brought into evidence in this case. So you don't have to make any of these arguments about how your feelings about Jewish people have anything to do with this prosecution.
That's the content. That's what the content of this propaganda is about.
I know, but why would you need to speak about what's in your
Because the First Amendment.
But this,
The purpose of the First
you don't
Amendment-
have the First Amendment rights that you enjoy in everyday life in this courtroom. You're going to speak about what I ruled that you can speak on, and what you can speak on is the things that you need to speak on to defend yourself against a littering charge, not on your feelings about Jewish people. That's just not relevant. I've already held that, and it was really for your own protection because originally you were going to have a jury, which.
Object.
Okay,
That's
well,
not
it's,
what I said.
it's denied. Your objection is all denied. I'll be right back out. Steve, are your witnesses here?
Yes, Your Honor, all of our witnesses.
These glasses are making me so dizzy. I have these new glasses, so I lost my other glasses. They're progressives, and they're like, I can see you guys close up. I can see everything close up, but out there, I'm like, I see you, but
I'll stand a little closer. I'll stand here.
And you want to take your glasses off? The vision is worse.
well, if I take my glasses off, I can see much better out. I'm nearsighted, right?
Okay.
That's what it is when you can't see near. But I also have an astigmatism in my right eye, so I really can't see out of that eye. So I'm like,
That LASIK like surgery won't work?
you know, it will, but I just don't have the guts to go do it. And like, I need to.
Yeah, my wife won't do it either. She wears glasses. Absolutely not. And
Yeah.
somebody can screw up one eye. I see, you know how many people that they do?
No, my dad got it, and he's good to go.
Yeah, her
He's in
aunt
his
is-
70s.
Her aunt at 70 years old got it done. She's like, I wish I did it sooner.
Right.
The best thing.
That's what I need to do. I can't even put on eye makeup anymore in the mirror. You know, like, that's a big thing for a woman, being able to put on makeup.
You don't?
Sometimes I put on makeup. We can't talk about those times in the quiver.
Yeah. But like, that's the worst. You like get up next to the mirror and you're just like, it's the worst. It makes me feel so old. I'm really getting up there.
Yes.
I'm getting up there.
Next year.
Next year I'll be officially so old.
That's what my wife was talking about last night with her. I was like, next year. That's
That's
the
the big
year.
one. It's
The
the
big
big one. The
5-0.
big 5-0.
I was like, I'm so lucky I'm not anywhere near that.
Oh.
That's what she does.
You're gonna get a donkey kick.
I'm gonna get it from both of you right at the
Yeah.
same time. You and her. Or is it?
My wife's still 3 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I do it on purpose. Just to say.
Just to make, because you have perfect vision.
My vision's it's good now, but it's nighttime. I can look at the phone and it gets all blurry.
Yeah, the blurriness from
And they said
device.
don't start with readers because once you start, it goes up.
Yeah, you can't stop with with readers. Next thing you know, you'll be using like +10 readers.
I was watching the lady with the she had a magnifying glass looking at the phone the
Oh.
other day. I'm like, oh, no.
You gotta change the font on your
Yeah.
phone to like 12 points.
Yeah.
Waiting opening.
All right, I'm gonna hear opening statements from both the state and from you, Mr. Kim. So first, the state will go. Ms. Diaz.
Your Honor, the defendant today is charged with attempt to commit dumping of litter. On March 18th of 2023, the defendant, Mr. Kim, was driving a U-Haul pickup truck that had 2 other people in the bed of the truck. The defendant was driving slow to allow the people he was driving to throw baggies with pellet and paper on people's yard who did not prior consent to that. Officer Sergeant Preusz witnessed the 2 other people in the back of the car throwing these pellets or these baggies on the yards of other people. They conducted an investigation that led that the conduct of the defendant was unwanted. The state would have to prove for attempt to commit dumping of litter that Mr. Kim did some act towards committing the crime of dumping of litter, though beyond just thinking or talking about it. Mr. Kim was driving the truck that the 2 people, his co-defendants in the back, were throwing that litter off of that, and that he would have to have committed the crime except that someone prevented him from committing the crime of dumping of litter. The pellet or the bag.
I object.
What's your legal objection?
It's out of order. We have to establish that it's a protected activity first. Then this
No.
all argument is moot.
That's wrong. That's denied.
I motion to dismiss.
I've already denied your motion.
No, this is a different motion. Well, it's a previous motion video. I still didn't get a good answer because the video is too hard. The recordings are too hard for me to access.
All right.
No, I don't have the one for the previous.
That's denied, and there is nothing in the video that would be relevant to today's proceeding.
But you say that. See, that you already blew it because we have to see the video, right? How could you just say
There
that?
is no. Okay.
You said that littering could not be used to abridge free speech, and that's what I want.
That's not. That's.
That's what I want.
Listen, I understand what you want, but please do not interrupt again. I've already denied your motion to dismiss. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. The second element is that the defendant would have committed the crime except that someone prevented him from committing the crime of dumping of litter.
Yeah.
Okay, enough. I read to you.
I object. You can't just dismiss all my motions.
Yes, I
by
can.
saying, oh, it's being recorded. No, I want some evidence. because
It is
the
being
Goyim
recorded.
know.
Stop, or else I will have you removed from the courtroom, and then you'll just be brought in to do your own testimony. That's what I read to you in the Friday hearing when we did the Friday hearing. If you're too disruptive, then you will be removed, and you won't be able to sit through your own trial until you come in to testify. And that would vitiate any way of you defending this case. You chose to be your own lawyer. You have to abide by the court's rules, sir. Okay? I've already denied your objection.
May I speak?
No, you may not. You already did.
May I speak?
No, you may not.
I'm pro se. How can you say that?
I've already denied your
Motion to
motion.
dismiss. I said I object. I mean, how? May I speak? May I speak?
What is your objection for, sir?
I want to record.
Okay, denied. Don't object again on that basis. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the second.
There's no.
Sir, that is enough. That is enough. That's enough. Do not speak again until she is done talking. Then you can make whatever objections you would like. Until then, keep your mouth shut.
Your Honor, the second element is that the defendant would have committed the crime, except that someone prevented him from committing the crime. The defendant and his co-defendants were intent on dumping this litter on the yards of different people and on roadways. The only reason it stopped is because the police officer, Officer Sergeant Preusz and Officer Elliot, took the cooler that had the litter in it that prevented them from committing the crime of dumping of litter. Dumping of litter is defined as in any amount exceeding 15 pounds in weight, not going over 500 pounds in weight. Officer Elliot today will testify that he weighed the litter outside of the cooler bag and inside the cooler bag, and it totaled an amount of 47.5 pounds, which exceeds that 15-pound threshold. And additionally, that litter was being thrown on public highways and roads, and it also was being thrown on private property without having that obtained prior consent from the homeowners. We have two witnesses, Mr. Sinclair and Mr. Clemente, who received this litter on their yards, and they did not prior consent to that litter being on their yards. So the state seeks to prove, based off of all that evidence, that the defendant is guilty of attempt to commit the dumping of litter.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Kim, your opening statement.
I object. That's my opening statement. I object. Highly irregular. Out of order. I need evidence. I need a recording. This is a railroad. This is criminal what you're doing here. I can't speak. Do I have to say, oh, how should I object? I said I object. I mean, do I have to ask permission to say I object?
After you've objected on the same basis numerous times and I've already ruled on your objection, yes, you will have to ask permission. I've just given you permission now to give your opening statement, which you are not doing. You're just saying that you object.
Yeah, there isn't. We're not there yet. There's still some matter of, order, process here.
This is the order and the process by which we follow.
No, I don't have the recording. I want the recording.
There's no recording. There's no recording of the alleged crime. The pre-trial recording?
Yeah, I want the pretrial
Well,
recording.
you obviously put in a request for that and you'll be getting it, but that has nothing to do with the trial today. And that could not be used as evidence in this trial, the pre-trial recording.
Why? It doesn't matter. I will use it as evidence. I can use it as evidence.
No, you couldn't.
Why?
Because I would not rule that that's relevant and it's
Well,
highly improper.
Well, then let that happen. You can't just say that a priori, ahead of
I
time.
can tell you that that would be irrelevant, and so therefore it would not be prejudicial for you not to have the video pre-trial. So I'm making a ruling that it would not be relevant. So even if you had it, I wouldn't let you play it. It wouldn't be part of this trial. Anything I say...
If you deny me, I need good cause. I need grounds to be shown, apparent, obvious.
Those are the grounds, sir. If you want to make an opening statement, you are free to do so at this time.
That is not obvious enough. It's not clear enough. I can't see it.
Okay, well, I'm asking you if you'd like to give an opening statement. If you wish to...
No, I motion to dismiss. Highly out of order.
It is...
Highly out of
That's
order.
denied. That's denied.
We have to establish, okay, motion to dismiss. We have to establish if this is a protected activity first.
No, we don't.
Constitutionally protected activity first. That is the...
Littering is
So you
not a
agree with that?
littering is not a protected constitutional activity. That has been established all over the land, okay? What you're talking about is what your speech is, and we're not arguing about that here today.
Is it protected by the Constitution? Is it a protected activity? Because what does protected mean? Protected means extra wiggle room, extra
No,
consideration.
it doesn't.
And you can... Yes, it does.
No,
What
it
does
doesn't.
protect-
And I'm not here to make a ruling on whether or not your speech was protected or not. We're not here on your speech. We're here on littering.
Yes, because when we... still, I don't even want to continue with it. We're already out of order. How can I continue? How can I make my opening statement? We're already out of order without good grounds shown. I don't
That's
see it.
denied.
Let's see
Would
it.
you like to do an opening statement or no? The state will call their first witness.
I would like to, but we haven't really gotten there yet.
Yeah, we have.
It's
I'm
out of
telling you
order.
right
It's
now.
out of order.
Right now, you are to do an opening statement, or you will forego your opportunity to do so.
I motion to charge this court with treason. It's out of order. Please.
Denied.
Okay, so let's establish if this activity, firing activity, is a protected activity. Have we established that yet or not?
Sir, that's what this trial is about, as to whether or not what you did constitutes the crime of attempting to dump litter. That's why we're here.
You didn't answer the question.
Sir, I don't need to answer any more questions. I'm telling you why we're
Well,
here.
who's my accuser? Who can answer these questions?
That's enough. I've had it. Call your first witness, State.
Your Honor.
I object.
Well, it's denied.
Out of order.
Denied.
Your Honor, the state calls...
Constitutionally protected. I object. May I speak?
No.
Okay, see, out of order. I can't speak at my own pro se trial.
I'll have you removed, and what we'll do is just hold you in the holding cell right outside this door.
Yeah, but you're railroading me.
I'm not railroading you.
Yes.
I've already told you, stop talking. Just call your first witness.
The state calls Peter Sinclair.
Don't say it. Don't speak out of order, sir.
Gordy told
Don't,
me
don't
I
speak.
can't speak.
This is, if you want me to hold you in contempt of court, that's the next step, where I put you in jail for disobeying a direct order from this court. Do not speak, just start speaking. If you have a legal objection, you say objection, and then I ask you for the legal basis.
Objection.
Right this way, sir.
Legal basis.
I need to be able to speak.
Denied.
Clerk.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good morning, Mr. Sinclair. May you please state your first name and spell your last name for the record?
My name is Peter Sinclair, Sinclair.
Mr. Sinclair, where do you live?
I live in West Palm
And where in West Palm do you live?
on Sunset Road.
And is that within Palm Beach County?
Yes.
I'd like to draw your attention to March 18th of this year. What were you doing that day?
I had just gotten home from Sebring. I had left early from Sebring, and I was in my house.
Okay. And what happened that day after you got into your house?
Well, my wife was getting ready to go to the grocery store, and I looked out the window, and a pickup truck had stopped across the front of my driveway, a rental truck.
You say rental truck. How do you know it was a rental truck?
Well, it had all the logos on the outside, as well as, so much per day, that sort of.
And what drew your attention to that specific truck?
Well, there was two individuals in the bed of the truck and another individual driving, and one of the individuals threw something out of the back of the truck into my driveway.
And what did you do after seeing that?
Well, I became perturbed. I thought I went outside, picked up the packet, and said something to the person in the back of the truck, and threw the packet back into the bed of the truck.
Did you want them to throw that item onto your yard?
Pardon?
Did you want them to throw that item onto your yard?
No.
Did you give them any consent to throw that item on your yard?
No.
Okay. And then you said something when you threw that item back at the people in the truck. What did you say?
Well, initially I said, keep your trash to yourself.
Did you believe that was trash that they threw on your yard?
Well, I didn't really care at that time. It seemed like it was a plastic bag, and I assumed it was trash.
Okay. And then this truck, when you saw it, was it stopped or was it driving?
It was stopped.
It was stopped. And then after you threw the item back at the people in the truck, what did the truck do?
Well, the individuals in the back of the truck, predominantly one of them, they had cameras and they were filming the incident, and I became somewhat agitated and yelled at them.
Okay. Did that truck end up leaving?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Moment to confer, Your Honor.
Sure.
The item that was thrown on your yard, where in your yard was it thrown?
Well, there was one item thrown in my driveway. After the fact, I discovered there was another thrown on my front lawn.
The state has no further questions at this time.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, do you have any questions of this witness?
May I speak?
No, you may speak to the witness as far as asking questions. If you have anything to add later, meaning you have objections that you want to make to the court, you can do that thereafter, after the witness has been dismissed.
Out of order. We have to establish
Denied.
constitutionality protected activity.
Okay, why don't you ask the witness any questions? The witness is not-
It's moot. All this is moot. If what we were doing was a protected activity, then all this littering charge is moot. Wouldn't you not agree with that? Or the prosecutor would not prosecute. This motion to dismiss this trial is a joke. Please, come on.
Denied. So you have no questions of this witness?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, go ahead and ask them.
I need the recording. See, this is a railroad. So I motion to dismiss. The court is acting out of order.
Denied. Ask your question, sir.
All right. Okay. Who's his name?
Mr. Sinclair.
Mr. Sinclair. I recognize you, Mr. Sinclair. So, did you think that this was propaganda? I mean, the prosecution answered this question. What was it that we're talking about here? Can you describe it?
Objections, vague, relevance.
Overruled. If you understand the question, you may answer, Mr. Sinclair.
I considered it trash.
Did you look at it? Did you know what it was? Can you describe it?
It was a plastic bag in which there was what appeared to be some form of pellets to weight it down, and there was a paper inside of it with different inscriptions on it.
Okay, Your Honor. Let the record show that Mr. Sinclair saw paper there with writing or some description of some writing inside. He saw it.
All right, do you have any further questions?
So let's establish that it's not litter. It was all new
right,
materials.
this is argument.
Did the materials look old or new? They were new. So did you notice that it was newish? It was all materials new and just delivered at that moment?
Objection, compound question, counsel.
Irrelevant and compound, sustained.
Right. It's speaking to the attempting to commit litter or littering. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so how is that irrelevant?
It's irrelevant. He's already explained to you what he saw that was placed on his lawn. He's already explained what he saw, what was apparently inside this plastic bag. It doesn't matter whether or not you believe it's new or it was brand new. That has nothing to do with it, sir. So it's irrelevant.
No, it's what he thought. He thought it was
It
litter.
doesn't matter. He just said it was trash.
No, he said it was a plastic bag with pellets inside and paper inside with some writing on
He said
it.
he thought it was trash.
Yeah, but he
Stop
saw.
arguing with me. Do you have any other questions?
Yes. I
Okay,
have
go
many more
ahead.
questions.
Go on. Ask the rest of your questions.
So, when you saw this piece of paper inside the bag, did you take a look at it? Did you read it? Any of it?
No, I glanced at it. I considered it trash because I considered it trash.
Well, you glanced at it, but you had some reaction. I recall that you had some reaction. You were upset. It was upset.
Yes, I was very angry because the individual in the back of the truck threw this bag on my yard. I was very angry.
Just because of a bag on your yard that you looked at, but you didn't really read?
No, sir. I was angry because it was thrown in my yard.
You were that angry because it was just thrown in your yard? You didn't have any questions? You didn't know? You weren't curious as to the content?
My primary concern was that this trash was thrown in my yard.
That was your primary concern, so you were upset because you thought that you saw people in the back of the truck delivering to many, not just your house, to all the houses down the street. Did you see that?
I was aware that after the fact, I was aware that other bags were thrown in other people's yards.
So after the fact, but you did realize that. So you must have had some idea that it wasn't just litter that we were delivering to all the houses down the street. It's ridiculous, Charles Joe.
So, okay.
We know what you're
Enough.
up to.
I'm striking that from the record. You have no further questions.
No, I have many more questions.
Oh, well, then stop punctuating your questions with declaratory statements such as this trial's a joke, or else, again, I've already told you, we can go into a contempt hearing, sir. We can do that. I've already warned you.
Oh, I'm listening, and I'm
All right,
trying
go
to
ahead
comply
and
with
ask
your
another
instructions.
question. If you have another question, ask it.
All right, are you Jewish?
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Why? It's relevant. It's relevant to the propaganda.
He already said that he didn't even look at what he said. There was some inscriptions. It wouldn't matter if he was Jewish or not. That's none of your concern.
It's leading into his, state of mind, his perspective.
Denied. Ask the
Okay,
next
do
question.
you believe in the Holocaust?
Objection.
Sir,
What? It's to show that he's
irrelevant.
under some propaganda mind control. This is what this trial is about.
No,
mind
it's
control.
not. It is not. I already said that the contents are irrelevant. Anything about the contents are irrelevant. And this is about whether or not this is a littering trial or whether or not there was a littering charge that can be proven by the state. His beliefs on the Holocaust, whether or not he's Jewish, is irrelevant. And I'm not going to let you ask those questions.
Excuse me. He saw the contents and he reacted as if he saw the contents, despite what he says.
He already
Apparently,
asked and answered. Ask your next question.
Yeah, so apparently you seem to have seen what was the content, so it is relevant. That's what this trial is about, censorship. We know what you're up to. That's what this trial is about. We have to establish if this is a protected activity or not.
No, we don't. I've made a ruling on that. Stop. Do you have any further questions?
No, let me add, can I ask the judge a question?
No, not me. You can ask the witness a question.
Why can I have a reason why I can't ask you a question,
Yes.
Judge?
No, you can't. You have to ask the witness the questions. He's on the stand right now.
You're saying that I can't have a reason why I can't answer your question?
No, after you're done questioning this witness, you can ask me questions. Please be respectful of the witness's time and ask questions.
But
and again, if you ask one more question about him being Jewish or about the Holocaust, again, we're going to have a serious problem.
Okay. I'd like to show him.
No. No, you're not going to show him the flyers.
Why? That's what this trial is about.
I told you that's irrelevant. I've already made a ruling as to the contents of the alleged litter. It's irrelevant and it's not coming into this trial. Do you have anything else that you would like to ask that have nothing to do with the contents of what your flyer said?
Okay, so you saw us delivering these baggies to all the houses down the street. So would you? What was your impression, that it was litter that we were delivering, or propaganda?
I did not see you delivering them to the other houses down the street. All I saw was the baggie being thrown into my driveway.
So you understood that we were littering just your house with these baggies?
No, sir. There has been many times before where people have driven down the street and either inadvertently or advertently thrown stuff out of their trucks into my yard as well as other people's yards. And when I saw the individual in the back of your truck winging that baggie out into my yard, my first assumption was they're just throwing their trash out.
But upon further inspection of the contents that were being tossed, was that still your?
I didn't inspect. I never opened the baggie. I never opened anything. I just threw the baggie that was in my driveway back into the bed of the truck while you were sitting in the driver's seat.
So the baggies were cleared, were they not? Do you recall?
They were clear, but they were anything and everything in the baggie was partially obscured by the wooden pellets that moved around as the baggie was winged into my driveway.
So by virtue of being partially obscured, it is partially unobscured then as well, right?
Well, I saw that there was paper there was some form of paper inside the baggie.
And there was some type of writing on it, right?
There appeared to be writing on the paper.
Okay. So who established that? So why would a reasonably prudent person see people delivering bags out of the back of the truck and see that there was a paper in there with writing and conclude that it was trash and not wait around or look around to see if we were delivering it to other houses and immediately conclude that? See,
let's come down. You're making an argument. Do you have any further questions of this witness?
Yes.
Okay, what are they? Please ask them succinctly.
Yes. Have you looked into the September 9/11 attacks.
Okay,
Objection.
irrelevant.
Why?
I'm letting, any
The
redirect.
same people who are being.
Stop it. Any redirect from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Sinclair, thank you very much.
I
And
object.
please watch your step.
This is a railroad. This is why I need to video these proceedings, highly irregular.
All right.
Over the wires.
Who's your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
I object. May I speak?
Now you
I'm
can speak.
regular.
Who's the next
What is highly irregular, sir? That's
You're
not a legal
telling me-
objection.
Because we have to establish that this is a protected, constitutionally protected.
No, you don't.
First, yes.
No, you don't.
Yes, because
No, you don't.
then these proceedings are moot.
No, you don't.
Ah. Because if it's protected, then you can't use
That's
literary.
not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
That is true.
I've already told you that's not true. I've
You
already
said it in
I've
the
already
trial.
denied your several motions to dismiss. This has nothing to do with the speech that was in these bags with the wooden pellets. It's whether or not the state can prove its littering. Bring the next witness in.
I object.
Well, it's
trial is
denied.
about whether this is a protected activity or not. The
denied.
littering is a moot point.
Okay, it's denied.
State calls Rafael Clemente, Your Honor.
Mr. Clemente,
Right, this-
please be sworn by the.
I object, please.
No.
I didn't get
Denied.
to finish.
Stop talking.
I object. How can you?
Stop talking.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Mr. Clemente, would you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Rafael Clemente, Clemente.
And where do you live?
In West Palm Beach,
And is that in Palm Beach County?
Palm Beach County.
And where do you live in West Palm Beach?
In Flamingo Park neighborhood.
Do you recall March 18th, 2023?
I do.
What happened that day?
I left my house. I think I was taking my dog for a walk, but left my house, went around a few blocks, and upon returning to my house, found a baggie with cat food or cat litter or something in it, and a pamphlet, a plastic bag, clear plastic bag with a pamphlet in it on my front lawn.
Had you provided consent for that item to be placed into your yard?
I did not.
Did you consider such item in your yard to be a nuisance?
I did.
So why did you consider, without getting into the contents of the information, why did you consider the item placed in your yard to be a nuisance?
Oh, I was littering on my yard. It was, something I didn't invite there. I felt like it was a intrusion on my space. The fact that somebody would toss garbage into my yard.
Okay. Thank you very much. No further questions.
Any questions, Mr. Kim?
Out of order. Well, I have a question. You said there was a pamphlet inside the baggie?
That's correct.
So, why would you call it litter if there's a pamphlet inside? Did you witness? Did you see the baggies on other people's lawn on the street? There should have not everywhere.
It is a compound question. You need to ask the question, stop, and then after the witness answers, you can ask another question.
Excuse me. So, did you see baggies on other people's yards down the street?
I did.
So, in your opinion, would a reasonably prudent person see a baggie with a pamphlet inside and see these baggies on houses down and conclude that it's litter and not propaganda? Not.
I didn't make a judgment on what it was. I only felt that it was something I didn't ask to have on my property that was thrown there that I then needed to deal with.
Would you consider it propaganda versus litter? I mean, wouldn't propaganda be more accurate than litter? Did it look like litter? You saw a pamphlet inside, and you saw.
Asked and answered.
Overruled. You can answer the question. Defendant is opening the door. At this point, I'm going to allow the question. You can answer, sir.
Yes, thank you. I didn't care what it was. It was something I didn't want on my property.
So did you have like some thought that it might be propaganda or something to look at? Did you read it? Did you see words on the paper?
I did.
Did you? So I assume you're like very. You could scan it instantly, so you must have had some idea of what was on the paper.
I did.
Okay, so there you go, Your Honor. Let this be.
Okay. Just keep asking your questions. Sir.
Okay. Do you are? Well, we've established the going no, have we not?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained, and that's stricken from the record. Don't say Goyim again.
Why? What is
Because
wrong
I'm
with
ordering you not to. I'm ordering you not to. I told you have free speech outside of this courtroom and everywhere else, but in this courtroom, you're not going to say offensive. You said it's highly offensive. It's a highly offensive word. Those were your words. So stop using highly offensive words towards the witness.
Well, for the way that Jews use it to describe goyim is offensive, but I call myself goyim, and if you look at the flyers, GTV flyers, it is I loosely network associated with the Goyim Defense League.
All right. Well, listen, that's all irrelevant. Do you have any more questions?
Why is it irrelevant? That's the activity is associated.
I've already ruled it's irrelevant. Do you have any more questions of Mr. Clemente? You're wasting his time and the court's time.
Well, we've already established that it's not litter. Mr. Clemente helped me establish that it wasn't litter, that it was propaganda.
Objection, mischaracterization.
And you're using your closing argument during the time where you should be asking the witness questions. Do you have more questions of this witness?
Yeah. Do you know what the word goyim? Do you know what the word goyim is?
Sustained. That's irrelevant. He doesn't need to answer that question, sir.
It is directly relevant. Let me enter this as evidence. Can you take this?
No, I cannot.
I'm going to debate this.
We're not. There's nobody to authenticate your evidence. What you're talking about.
Yes. I object. I'd like to enter this into evidence.
No.
State witnesses.
Overruled.
Okay, so. Highly irregular. I motion to dismiss. Highly irregular. Out of order. I can't enter evidence into my own trial.
You're not, and it's not your case right now. It's the state's case, and I don't know what evidence you're holding there, but I suppose it's the contents of what was in those bags, which I've already ruled is irrelevant. It doesn't matter if there were blank pieces of paper in that bag. It's just whether or not they can prove the charge of attempting to commit litter. So please move on and ask questions that are relevant of this witness. He's sitting here on the stand. Don't argue with me. Ask the questions.
No, but you wait a second. This trial is about a protected activity, free speech. So if it's free speech, then it definitely does is related to the content of what's in the bag. No.
No, I disagree. This is a littering trial, and you need to ask questions. And I think you already asked. It seems to me you finished up your questioning for Mr.
No,
Clemente.
I'd like him to see these. He read the propaganda, and he said it was propaganda.
It does not matter what he thinks of what the material is. It does not. It only matters that there was material that was thrown onto a lawn allegedly. That's what his testimony is. He's not going to. I'm not allowing you to ask him questions about what your quote propaganda said.
So you saw that other baggies were delivered down the other houses on the street.
Objection, asked and answered.
What?
It was asked and answered. He said yes. He saw other bags earlier. So do you have another question?
Well, see, I'm curious as to why would you categorize what we were delivering as litter?
Because that's what it is.
A litter, and and not have any, I mean, you've already indicated that you saw a pamphlet inside, so that you had some idea that it was propaganda, no? Is that
Objection.
correct?
Asked and answered.
Overruled.
It was garbage on my lawn.
You described as what in the contents of the baggie, there was a pamphlet, did you not?
I did, but that was garbage.
Yeah, and that you saw, you could see through the baggie, and that you saw that there were words on the pamphlet, and that you did read some of those words.
Which made me even more confident that it was garbage.
Okay, so despite what saying it's garbage, he did read it, and there's no
Okay.
words on there.
All
So
right.
let that be
Understood.
established. Okay. Do you believe the TV?
Objection. Relevance.
Sustained.
Why?
Sustained. There's no relevance to.
It's relevant, the mind control.
No, it's not relevant to mine.
Yeah, the mind control, because how can he know what he's thinking is correct?
It's irrelevant and it is sustained. Move on.
Do you know where money comes from?
Objection. Relevance.
Sustained.
Do you know what the word goyim means?
Objection.
Sustained.
By rule.
No, this is about goyim. This is about goyim.
Sustained. We're not asking questions about goyams or goyim.
Oh, we know what you're up to. Okay, we know what this court's up to. That's why I have to the video. Okay, so do you know who's behind the COVID agenda?
Objection.
Sustained.
Why? It's all relevant. It's
Irrelevant.
It's propaganda.
It's irrelevant to this littering trial.
So because the constitutionality is
You're
the
making
matter.
an argument.
No, I haven't finished, please.
You're making an argument to me. Do you have any more questions for this witness? I'm going to dismiss him. You're wasting his time.
Yeah, it's mind control. That's what we're fighting here.
No, there is no mind control, sir.
Yes.
No. You're excused, sir. Do you have any
No,
redirect?
do you know who did? You know the Holocaust is a lie. Does he believe the Holocaust?
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not relevant.
It
Because
is
the people-
irrelevant.
If he believes the Holocaust, then he was believing many lies. So how can we consider what he's saying?
Your Honor, the state calls Sergeant Joseph Preusz to stand.
All right. Let me have 1 minute break I just need to grab the piece of paper. So let's bring in the next witness. Mr. Kim, let me just warn you again, okay? Nothing about the Holocaust, the Jewish people, anything that was in your pamphlets is admissible during this trial, and you're opening the door to that by bringing it up. And because we don't have a jury, I'm allowing you that. I can't stop you from doing it. But don't bring in irrelevant arguments. This is about littering. For your own good, sir, you chose to represent yourself. We went through a lengthy inquiry relative to that. And I'm asking you to obey the rules that I have set out in this courtroom. Okay? You can't bring in those irrelevant issues. It's not part of this case. I know you believe that it is, but it's not. All right, who's your next witness?
Sergeant Joseph Preusz.
All right. Let's bring in, I guess he's getting up.
A motion to dismiss. It's response to what you're saying. I'd like to respond.
Go ahead.
Please, this is about censorship. We didn't break any laws. We were very careful. We delivered in an orderly manner.
Well, that's what we're having a trial for.
Yeah, we delivered in an orderly manner. This is just a joke, and you know that. No crime was committed here. I'd like to just have that for the record.
It's on the record, sir. It's on the record. Please be sworn in. Thank you.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Good morning, Sergeant. May you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, Sergeant Joseph Preusz, Preusz.
and presumptive, but what do you do for a living?
I'm a police officer with the West Palm Beach Police Department.
How long have you been with the West Palm Beach Police Department?
Since 2006.
Do you have any prior law enforcement experience
No.
before that? Okay. And what training and education have you had to become an officer?
I went to the police academy, which is obviously mandatory. Did that at Palm Beach State College in 07. And then have taken numerous classes and training in the past 17 years.
Is this training continuous?
Yes, some of it is. We have training that we do every year in-house at the police department, yes.
I'd like to turn our attention to the afternoon of March 18th of this year. Were you working that day?
Yes.
What were you doing that day for work?
I would believe it was a special detail that day. We had intel that there was going to possibly be some guys coming into West Palm and kind of, I guess, displaying and throwing stuff into people's yards. That had been done in the past. We had got information about this, so they set up an operation for us to be able to stop them if they did come into town.
And what did this detail involve you doing?
Me, I was in uniform in a police car, and I was going to be one of the units that pulled the offenders over if they were caught breaking any laws.
Okay. And did you conduct a traffic stop on that day?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Do you remember where that traffic stop was?
I believe it was in the 1000 block of Sunset Road, I believe.
And is that within Palm Beach County?
Yes.
And when you stopped the car, what was the car doing?
There was two gentlemen in the back. It was a pickup truck, U-Haul pickup truck with an Arizona tag, I believe. There was two gentlemen in the back, both white males, were throwing what looked to be plastic baggies onto the road or into people's yards. And then there was a male that was driving the truck, sole occupant of the cab of the truck up front.
Okay. And this truck, when you saw it, was it going fast? Was it going slow?
No, slow, and they were allowing slow, so it would allow the two gentlemen in the back to throw the baggies onto the road and into each yard that we passed by.
And was the throwing of the baggies what caused you to stop the truck?
Yes.
And just for more context, you said that this is a U-Haul truck, the two people in the back of the truck. Do you know what they were grabbing these baggies from?
We later found it was a large black cooler bag that contained, some were loose in the bed of the truck. Most of them were in a large black cooler bag that was in the back of the truck with them.
And these baggies, where were they landing when the people in the back were throwing it?
It depended. Some in people's yards, some in the swale, some right on the roadway.
And what happened when you started your traffic stop?
The truck stopped. Myself and Officer Elliot approached the truck. We initially engaged with the two gentlemen in the back. They were verbally combative with us. Then I later went and made contact with the driver, who was Asian male, Mr. Kim.
Do you see the driver of that truck in the courtroom today?
Yes.
May you please point to him and identify him by an article of clothing?
Yes, the gentleman here in the brown shirt.
May the record reflect that the witness has positively identified the defendant?
I will.
Did you speak with the defendant during the traffic stop?
Yes.
What was the defendant saying?
At first, he didn't say much. He refused to give me his identification. Then he eventually gave me his Florida driver's license, and that was it. Then I went back. I think made contact with the two gentlemen in the back again. All three weren't being cooperative at first. Did not want to give us their ID. All three eventually did, and then we went back, gave those IDs to Officer Borgen, who later showed up and wrote the citations.
Based off of your interaction with the defendant, did he seem to know what was going on in the back of the truck?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because it had been going on for some time. They were live streaming it, which we had people at the officers and detectives at the police station watching. It had been going on for some time, and they had gotten to a couple arguments, verbal arguments with residents whose yards they had thrown these pamphlets or these baggies into.
For the defendant specifically in this case, what was he doing to make you think that he was aware of this littering or throwing?
He was driving the truck slowly, so they were able to throw these in as many yards as possible.
Do you have an objection, Mr. Kim?
No.
All right. You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. After this traffic stop, what did you do next in your investigation?
We let Officer Borgen write the tickets. All three were issued a citation. Mr. Kim was issued one because per the statute, if you're the driver of the vehicle that is littering, you're also subject to a citation. So all three were given one citation apiece. Then I initially cleared the scene. I was later told to go back and confiscate the baggies and the container that they were in, because they told one of the officers on scene that they were going to continue to do what they were doing. So we had our legal advisor call the state attorney's office, and the state attorney's office advised us to confiscate the bag as evidence.
So a defendant told a fellow officer that they were going to continue throwing these baggies on people's yards?
Yes.
And that's why the bag was confiscated? For the bags that were thrown, without getting into the content of what's in the bag, can you describe the items that were in the bag?
Yes, small plastic Ziploc baggies with some sort of brown pellet inside, and then some literature in there as well, on paper.
Did you speak with the people who lived in the neighborhood?
I did not take any statements from anybody. Mm-hmm. One gentleman drove up after we conducted the traffic stop. He was very upset. We had to make contact with him briefly just to tell him he needed to call, to step back. Mm-hmm. We were conducting an investigation. He was just upset because of what the gentleman had done.
And for these bags, were photos taken of where the bags landed after they were being thrown?
Yes, I believe so. I believe Officer Gomez took photos. Obviously, all this was captured on our body-worn cameras as well. But I believe Officer Gomez took a couple pictures of the baggies and where they landed. I think I may have taken a couple as well.
Okay. Would you recognize the photos that you took if I showed them to you?
Probably, yes.
Showing defense what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 1. What did I just hand to you?
Looks like multiple photos of these of the pamphlets that were thrown.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of where the bags were that landed that day?
Yes. Again, I don't think I took all these photos here, but this is where, they were landing on the, like I said earlier, on people's yards, on the sidewalk, in the swale, or on the roadway. So yes.
The state would offers an evidence what has been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 1.
They're admitted.
May I publish to you?
Yes.
And Sergeant Preusz, I just want to go back. For these bags, you said they were landing in people's yards, correct?
Yes.
Where else were these bags landing?
On the sidewalk, in the swale, between the roadway and the sidewalk, and then also on the roadway.
No further questions at this time, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, cross-examination.
So, I'm wondering. You saw that we were live streaming?
I did not. I saw it later. People at the police station were watching the live stream, and that was later uploaded to our evidence.
So at the time you saw. Yeah. Would you refer to as littering, but you didn't see the live streaming?
I saw the two gentlemen in the back littering, yes, but I did not see the live stream initially. No.
So when you saw the two gentlemen, what did you see regarding the two gentlemen that led you to believe that they were littering?
They were throwing the baggies out of the back of the truck onto the road or into people's yards.
Yeah. So would someone who's littering do that? I mean,
yeah, that's the definition of littering. Yes, sir.
No. I mean, distribute the litter to all the houses down the street.
Well, we didn't know what they were distributing. We saw them littering and we pulled them over.
Yeah, but isn't that your kind of due diligence, your duty to kind of find out what's going on?
Yeah, and that's what we did. We conducted our investigation and we determined that littering was going on, and then we wrote the citations.
Now, you said you spoke to to us. The people in the truck, they didn't explain to you that it was free speech, it was protected free speech? I think they did. And then they showed you the state statute that covers this activity?
I'm sure they did try to explain that to us, yes, but we determined that it was littering and that was not, if it's unwanted, then it's litter.
And now, do you understand that whether it's is it wanted or unwanted? Is that is it make any difference whether it's wanted or not wanted?
Yes, if you look at the statute, sir, and if it lands on someone's private property and it's unwanted, then that's in the statute. If it lands on the roadway, then that's littering in itself.
So I mean, see, the point is to get the message to the private resident. So
Objection, counsel testifying.
Sustained.
It is wanted. I mean, what about the situation where
Objection, relevant.
You're making an argument. You said it is wanted. You have to phrase your questions as a question.
Now, okay, so would you think that someone may want to read the propaganda that we're delivering?
Irrelevant.
Why is it irrelevant? Because if someone wants it, that's why we're delivering it. Because for those people who want to hear.
That's not an issue in this case. It's whether or not it meets the definition of littering as is promulgated in the Florida state statute.
That's what we're trying to determine here. It's up to the recipient, the private resident.
He's already testified that people were upset about getting some of this, what he characterized as litter, in their yard.
Yeah, but would you not reasonably reason that some people may want to hear this?
What you're asking him is something so speculative he would not be able to answer that question. What some people might believe or want to do is not something within the purview of his knowledge. You cannot ask him that question.
Yeah, but I mean, it goes to whether he thought this might be propaganda and not litter, and that is at the time of the delivery. So
it's
inevitably
irrelevant whether or not you believe it's propaganda. It has no relevance in this.
No, whether he believes it's propaganda or not.
Whether or not he believes it or not he's already testified that he believed it to be litter.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it the officer's duty to find out whether some real crime has committed?
He answered the question that they did an investigation. What you're trying to get into, sir, is what the contents of your flyers were. And I think that the officer, the sergeant, is adhering probably to what he was admonished before the trial, that we're not getting into that. And so you're trying to get into what your propaganda says, and he's trying to stay away from that. And I've already ordered that we're staying away from that because it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
I'd like to open the door to the contents of the propaganda.
All right, well, sir, I've already told you that you can't. Any questions that you might ask the sergeant about what was said in your literature, I think would be irrelevant, and I don't think he has any personal knowledge or could answer any of those questions. But what's your question that you want to answer him to answer that would have anything to do with that?
Well, it sounds like to me what he's describing, despite him saying litter, that he's describing propaganda. Would you say that a reasonably prudent person seeing what you saw that day might conclude that we were delivering propaganda, because that was actually what it is?
Again, that is, you can't ask that question. You're asking him to speculate on what another person might think or believe.
Okay, so what would you reasonably, what would you think, seeing what you saw that day, that there is a probability that it could be? I mean, you saw that there was a pamphlet. You asked questions. We showed you the statute that covers this protected activity. So you had some awareness of it. Is that not correct?
Objection, compound.
Correct.
So you had some idea that we were participating in a protected activity? Did you?
Objection, relevance.
Oh, you can answer if you can just answer the question.
I'm sorry, say the question again, sir.
So, did you have some idea that we were participating in a protected activity?
We knew you guys were, we set up the operation because we knew you guys were possibly coming into town, and we determined that it was not a protected activity that you were doing. You were littering, and we took statements from 7 different people on our body-worn cameras saying that they didn't want it. That's in the statute. That means it's littering.
Okay,
So we had at least 7 people that we were able to find just in those couple minutes to say, yeah, we didn't want this. They gave us a sworn statement saying that they didn't want this stuff thrown in their yard or placed on their porch or wherever you guys put it. So that right there gave us the probable cause we needed to write the citations for littering.
Okay, let the record show what he said. I mean, that because they didn't want it, that it's littering. Is that what you're saying? Because they didn't want it, that it's litter, and if they did want it, then it wouldn't be litter.
Well, they did not want it. Did not, so it's littering.
So would you conclude that, on the other hand, if they did want it, that it wouldn't be litter?
Objection as to answer relevance.
It's sustained as to, you're asking him to make a legal conclusion, sir. That's for the trier of fact, me, to determine whether or not it's litter.
No, I'm not, that's not quite accurate. I asked,
He said that he took statements from numerous people that said they did not want these things thrown in their yard.
I'm trying to establish that he knew that it's probably a protected activity, because we showed him the statute. We said it was free speech. We explained it to I remember this.
I'm sure that you do, but
So
it's irrelevant whether or not the speech that you put into your flyers is protected or not. That's irrelevant here. It's irrelevant what the content. Again, we've had this conversation ad nauseum. It is irrelevant what is contained in those flyers. What is relevant is whether or not the state can prove that you attempted to litter in this city that you were in. Okay, so please continue.
Well, you saying that is not relevant. It's not that good of, it's not an adequate enough explanation. I can't see that.
Well, I've made a legal ruling, sir, and you're going to have to abide by that.
Well, I'd like to have something that I can, have as evidence to indicate grounds of your decision, the basis of your decision.
I gave you the basis of the decision. The basis of the decision, again, is that you're charged with attempting to commit littering. That's what, or dumping of litter. And it wouldn't matter, again, it would not matter what was in those plastic bags when you throw them out, allegedly, onto people's lawns and onto swales and onto roadways. The state is alleging that that's littering. So it doesn't matter what's in there. So when you're talking about protected speech, going on and on about protected speech, I'm telling you that it wouldn't matter if you put something in there that said, I'm looking for my dog, okay? It doesn't matter if you say that you hate Jewish people or you're looking for your dog. It would not matter. So why are we talking about protected speech when I've told you so many times it's not relevant?
Well, you of all people ought to know that really it's not the protection is not for people who do not want the propaganda. The protection is for people who want the propaganda. And you should know that.
All right, sir, enough. Do you have any further questions for this sergeant? Do you have any further questions?
Motion, this court is a farce.
It's denied. And do you have any more questions for the sergeant?
Yes.
Okay, please continue.
Do you believe that police lie under oath in the court?
In general? I mean, no, I don't.
But absolutely.
What do you mean?
Has any cop lied on that you believe that lied under oath on the stand?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Why? It's relevant. He's on the stand.
I just sustained the objection. If you want to ask him if he is lying, he may do so.
We have to lay a basis here. Okay, so, did you think that when you were investigating this case, did you believe that the baggies with the pamphlet and the weight was litter and not propaganda?
Yes.
Yes, you believe that it was litter and not propaganda?
Yes.
But why do you say that? You saw that there was a pamphlet in there. And if someone did want...
You're testifying now, and he's already stated he believed it to be litter. Move on to your next question.
Oh, I'd like an explanation why you thought it was litter.
You're not getting one. He's
He's
already asked and answered your questions numerous times. You're not getting any more explanation. Move on to your next question.
Okay, did you answer the one about do police lie under oath on the stand?
No, I told you couldn't answer. He couldn't answer that question as to other police officers. You could ask him if he himself was lying on the stand today. You can ask that question.
Okay. Now, do you believe that what we were delivering to each house was litter and not literature?
Objection, ask an answer.
Sustained. You've already asked that question. He's answered it.
What was the answer? I don't.
He said yes, litter. He believed it to be litter.
See, okay, now, if we're going plain view, let's keep this third grade, fifth grade, please. He already saw that there was a pamphlet and writing on it. And someone who wanted it.
Objection, defendant.
You are making an argument to me that should be reserved for closing argument. If you need to answer or you need to ask questions that you need answers to, now is your opportunity, or I'm going to excuse the witness.
Why are you calling it litter when you saw that there was a pamphlet inside with writing on it? And why are you calling it litter and not propaganda?
Because per the statute, the littering statute in Florida, doesn't matter what it is. It was thrown on the street or in people's yards that didn't want it, and that's the definition of littering.
What about newspaper delivery or advertisements delivery? Those are in general. What about religious literature? What he's saying, he really ought to know better.
Objection, counsel, testify in compound.
Sustained.
Oh, okay, now, what if it were some religious material? There is some religious material. You looked at it.
Objection, relevance.
Overruled. If you've ever had any experience with religious, if there was any religious pamphlets that have been passed out in this manner and you have experience with it, you can answer that question.
I've never had religious material handed out like this before.
You never had like a landscaper pass out an advertisement like that and then it will weigh it down with rocks and plastic bag?
No, I don't think so.
And you don't know of any such advertising practice by landscapers?
To just throw stuff in people's yards or on the street? No, sir.
Yeah, landscapers advertising by sticking a piece of paper in a plastic bag and maybe tossing pebbles and then tossing it onto people's residences.
No, I don't have any experience with that.
You don't have any experience and you don't have any knowledge. To your knowledge, you never heard of that?
I don't think so. No.
Well, I say this testimony. I think this witness testimony practically should not be allowed.
Objection, counsel, testifying.
Right?
You're getting into argument now. Are you done asking any questions?
You had no idea that this could be propaganda, and you thought we were.
You've asked and answered these questions. You've asked these questions; they've been answered. Do you have any new material to go over?
Well, I want to establish this is he's. Well, I don't want to call him a liar, but he's not saying it correctly.
Well, that's because you want to argue something different, and that's fine. You can do that when it's time to argue, but you don't have any more questions for this witness that I've heard the same questions over and over again for the last good while, sir. So unless you have any well, you're not getting maybe he's not answering the questions the way you want him to answer them, but he's answering the questions. So do you have any further material that is new that you have not asked?
So you, were you familiar, you mentioned, you heard that we were coming and you were aware of that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So, you heard that we were coming and you were aware of that, and yet you didn't know that we were distributing flyers?
Yeah, yes, we did. We knew exactly what was probably going to be in the flyers. Yes.
Okay. This testimony is inconsistent. He says he knew we were delivering flyers, yet he's saying that we were literate. That's inconsistent.
You're arguing again in a place that is not reserved for argument. These are questions.
You knew we were passing out flyers, and so when you saw us delivering the baggies, you didn't think that those were flyers, or you did think they were flyers. They were just not wanted, and so is that why? Later, I don't understand. Please explain why you thought it was.
Yes, like I said earlier, we had multiple people said that they did not want them, and many of these packages or the baggies that you were throwing landed on the street also, which is the definition of littering.
Now, if the recipient does not want you ought to know that is not the basis to determine whether it's litter or not, right?
Objection, legal conclusion.
Sustained.
He ought to know that. He's a policeman. He's a code enforcement officer. He ought to know that.
Sir, I've already sustained the objection.
But you just explained. Can I have an explanation more than
I
you sustained?
No, I'm not giving you any more explanation. Do you have any other questions?
No. Why? I need an explanation. This is not fair.
Okay, well, I've already denied.
Well, he said that he knew you were coming.
I've already denied any further explanation. Yes, he said that you guys were coming. He already said that he knew what your flyer said.
And then when he saw us delivering, he said that it was litter and not literature, but he knew that we're delivering literature.
Semantics, sir. You're trying to call what the state is alleging is literature, and it's like I said to you, it doesn't matter what was in your flyers. You want to call it literature? Doesn't matter. It could have been
I haven't opened the door with the content of the flyers yet at this time.
Yes, you have.
I have previously, but not at this time.
Okay. Do you have anything further?
Yeah, so he knew that we were.
You're arguing to me. So do you have any further questions? I'm going to release this witness.
So why would you use the term litter to describe what we were delivering when you knew we were delivering flyers?
Objection asked and answered.
That's sustained. You have already asked that question.
But he didn't explain why he thinks it's litter.
He explained to you that how the manner and by which you were distributing your flyers was considered litter by the police department for the reasons that he stated on the record multiple times already.
Now,
anything further?
Now, did you observe that we were going slowly and delivering to all the houses down the street?
Yeah, that's what it appeared like.
Okay,
yes.
so would you consider that a delivery in an orderly fashion?
Objection, relevance.
It is relevant.
Overruled. You can answer.
Was it an orderly fashion? Yes.
To delivery.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay, so can you explain? Is because these particular people who complained didn't want it? Is that your basis for determining whether it was litter or not?
Part of it, yes, sir.
See, so that's already mistaken. The police officer should know that.
You're arguing to me. Do you have any further questions?
Now, don't you know that's mistaken? Don't you know that the protection, the constitutional protection is for the people who want to hear the message, not the people who don't want to. Are you aware of that?
Objection, misstatement of law.
Sustained. I'm going to stop your questioning here.
Why?
You have nothing further.
He's a policeman. He ought to know these things.
I know, but you've already asked these same questions over and over again.
But he didn't really
Can you redirect from the state?
No reading.
Out of order.
Okay.
I need a...
You're excused. Thank you very much, Sergeant.
This is a farce.
I know. That's what you told me throughout this trial.
Any more witnesses? Yes, Officer Elliot.
I motion we open the door to the contents. It's relevant.
Who do you want to ask about the content?
What was that?
Who do you want to ask about the content?
I want to open the door to allowing what's in this podcast. It's relevant.
It's not relevant.
It's relevant.
It's not relevant. It wouldn't, like I've explained to you a million times before, it wouldn't matter what was said on that. It's whether or not they can prove their littering charge.
No, it's whether we can prove that this is free speech or not.
No,
That's
it's not.
You can't say it's not. Yeah, I need a better explanation.
We're not gonna, listen, this witness needs to be sworn in. Keep quiet.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
May I proceed, John?
Yes.
Good morning, Officer Elliot. Would you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Officer Kyle Elliott. Last name's Elliott. Elliott.
And what do you do for a living?
Police officer with the West Palm Beach Police Department.
And how long have you been officer for?
16 years.
Do you have any other law enforcement experience?
No, I do not.
Okay. What training and education did you receive to become an officer?
Just a standard police academy.
Okay. Now I'd like to turn your attention to the afternoon of March 18th, 2023. Were you working that day?
Yes, I was.
Where were you working that day?
Just road patrol in the south end of the city, which is known as Charlie area.
And is that within Palm Beach County?
Yes, it is. City of West Palm Beach.
And did you respond to a traffic stop that afternoon?
Yes, I did. To assist Sergeant Preusz.
And what was the purpose of that traffic stop?
Littering.
Did you identify the participants in this in this littering upon your arrival?
Yes, I did.
Is one of the participants in the courtroom today?
Yes, he is.
Would you please point him out and identify him by an article of clothing?
Brown button-down long sleeve shirt.
Thank you. Let the record reflect that the officer has identified the defendant.
I will.
And what role did the defendant play in this littering?
He was the driver of the U-Haul pickup truck.
Okay. And did you wind up confiscating any evidence that day?
Yes, I did.
And what evidence did you confiscate?
It was actually a large black and yellow cooler bag containing 748 clear Ziploc baggies containing white paper and like brown pellets.
And did you take pictures of those when you took them to the evidence room?
I did.
Okay. Permission to approach a witness.
Yes.
Officer Elliot, what did I just hand to you?
Basically photographs of the evidence, the cooler bag containing all the Ziploc baggies.
Okay. Are those a fair and accurate representation of the evidence that you, the cooler and the contents that you took into
Yes, sir.
confiscated that day? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to enter into evidence State's Composite Exhibit 2.
They're admitted.
Motion to publish, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Officer Elliot, did you weigh the evidence that was confiscated?
Not that exact day on the 18th, but 2 days later on the 20th, March 20th.
And how much did the including the weight of the cooler bag, how much did the evidence weigh?
52.4 pounds.
And how much did the cooler bag weigh?
It was approximately 5 pounds.
And then how much did the actual evidence weigh?
With the 748 baggies, yeah, that weighed 47.5 pounds.
Okay. Your Honor, the state is bringing what has been pre-marked as state's identification number 3, and making defense.
Do you need scissors or anything to cut the tape? He's gonna need to identify what's inside.
I don't believe we need scissors for the tape.
All right.
For the zip tie, yes.
Scissors? And you can step down. Do you want to?
But I guess first, I wanted to give the defendant an opportunity to say it. Okay. May the witness step down, Your Honor.
Step down and take a look.
Hey,
Yes.
now, what?
He's got to identify.
Oh, okay. I thought you were discussing it.
Okay. Officer Elliot, what are you? What did you just look at?
The evidence that we dropped on, or that I submitted on the 18th and then later weighed on the 20th.
And I guess just could you visually describe what it is that this piece of evidence is?
Yeah, I guess it's like a black and yellow cooler bag.
And what is contained within it?
748 clear Ziploc bags containing white paper and some type of brown pellets.
And is that the same manner in which it existed at the time you inventoried this on March 20th, 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this time, the state moves into evidence. State's Exhibit 3, the black cooler bag containing the 748 baggies.
It's admitted.
Oh, yes. I guess permission to publish, Your Honor. I don't know.
I'll take a look at it after the witness is done.
That's
I've
fine.
already reviewed the pictures.
Okay. With that, no further
right.
questions, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kent.
I'm still don't see why you would classify. You saw the bag, obviously, confiscated, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you saw this, you were delivering these bags. You saw that, correct?
Yes.
So why would you? And you saw this. It's clear about bagging. There you see that there's pathway for writing and stuff.
Yes.
So why? As a police officer, why would you saw your? Would you use the term litter to describe what you see here? But more, with litter in your estimation, is litter or literature the more? Which term do you think is more accurate?
I didn't read it. I just know that was dumped without people's permission on their property. So that would be considered littering. But I don't have to explain that to you.
So you're saying that because it doesn't, they didn't give permission that it's litter? But if they did give permission, then what would you consider it?
Are we speculating?
Yes.
Are we assuming? Can we do that?
If someone had given permission, you can't ask him that because it would be speculation. In this case, there's no evidence that anyone gave permission for you to do that.
But, okay, would you say estimate a reasonably prudent person, seeing what you saw, would come to the conclusion that it was literature?
Objection, speculation.
Speculation, correct. You can't ask.
Okay, so if you're looking at this bag right now, here in this courtroom, would you describe this as litter or literature?
In the context of that day,
No.
and the amount of baggies that we picked up out of people's yards, it's litter.
Okay,
Sure.
so what about the context of this courtroom right here, right now, in my hand?
It's evidence
Objection.
right now. Okay.
Would you describe it in your
Evidence, sir.
as evidence? Would you okay?
The evidence that I dropped on 18th and then later weighed on the 20th.
What term would be more accurate in your estimation, litter or literature?
Litter.
That you call this litter, and you would describe this as
You've
litter?
already asked this question now 5 times. I've counted.
But
Enough.
he's not saying it right.
Well, that's because, again,
Okay.
sometimes people answer questions not the way that you'd like them
What
to,
about-
but they're still answering the question. So stop asking the same question and move on to another. And
Okay.
stop hunching over that and go back to your seat.
Yeah, let's go sit down.
In your, I can't hold
You can
this.
take that.
In your estimation, a reasonably prudent person would seeing this bag and this contents of the bag, would you say a reasonably prudent person would conclude that it is litter and not literature?
Again, I'm just going to call it a standing objection now. You've asked the same question over and over again. He already said it was litter. On the context of that day, it was litter. So no more asking that question.
No. There's many. We have to determine why he calls it litter. We have to determine.
You already determined that. We already determined that.
No. We're still trying to find out. Still don't see why he would call it, because obviously it is not.
No, that's your opinion. It's your opinion about whether or not it is or not.
That's what we're trying to establish here. We're trying to establish that it's obviously not litter, and depending on whether the recipient wants it or not, is not a criteria to determine whether there's litter or not. But yet, all these officers and the prosecution are emphasizing that point. I don't understand.
Yes, because one of the things they're saying is it created a nuisance on that day. But you can go ahead and ask your next question.
Inevitably, you know that some of this is going to become delivered, but is going to become litter. But you have to. Are you aware that you have to? You have to make that determination whether it's litter and literature at the time it was delivered. It's not afterwards. At the time of delivery.
Is there a question here?
Yes, I'm asking if he knows this.
Knows
really
what?
ought to know that.
Give me a succinct question that you can ask
At the time of delivery, right, is the time when, because over time.
Okay, ask the question. Let's get to the question.
Yeah, so do you know that you have to make your decision based on the time of the delivery and not afterwards?
That's vague. What are you talking about?
He's making the determination that it's litter at the time of delivery, or he's making the determination that it's litter after it's been delivered.
Did you make it at the time of the apprehension or whatever you guys did? Did you determine whether or not it was litter?
I mean, it's being thrown out of the back of a pickup truck that's moving
Okay.
into people's yards without permission.
All right.
As a police,
Yes, I guess would be the answer to that question.
Well, as a police officer, you are aware that you have to make that determination at the time of delivery, because afterwards, right? It may be.
So you're considering delivering that, throwing it out of the bed of a pickup truck. That's delivery in your definition?
Yes.
Okay. Next question, I guess.
Well, I mean, I'm using the term the delivery as we are delivering a bag for residents, and you were aware of that, and you knew you were aware.
Objection.
I mean,
overruled. What's
Yeah.
the question?
Well, that he was aware that we were delivering flyers, and he saw us delivering a bag to each house, and then he's on the stand. He's saying it's litter.
Right, that's his testimony, that you guys were littering. Right.
Yeah, so let this record show that there's inconsistency. This man's under oath.
Okay, I understand, but you're arguing now. Again, there's a time specifically reserved for you to give me your closing argument. But right now, this time is allotted for you to ask questions of the witness.
But my discussion is regarding his testimony.
But this is a discussion that you can have outside outside the hearing of the witness. This is inappropriate, sir.
Yeah, but we're trying to establish why he's saying that this is
Because it
litter.
says that you violated Florida state statute by throwing things onto lawns, swales, and sidewalks, and created litter and dumping litter.
I'm saying that inevitably some of it is going to become litter, but we have to make allowance because of free speech.
Okay,
It's
now we're
protected
getting into the
activity.
free speech again. I
Yes.
think we're done. Do you have any redirect?
No. I have still pointed. Are you aware of the First Amendment and what?
You know what? I'm going to let him ask this
It's
question.
strictly
He's
irrelevant.
opening the door.
I'm opening the door.
Go ahead. You can answer.
Yes.
So, as a police officer, it's your understanding. As a police officer, it's your duty to know that. To know what the Constitution is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now are you aware of the First Amendment?
Okay, now you're getting into legal questions as to he already said he knows what the First Amendment is and he knows that it's his job to protect constitutional rights. But if you're going to go into what your pamphlets say and why you believe it's your protected speech, again, I'm not going to allow you to do that. I've already told you it's irrelevant what those pamphlets said.
I know, but it's still protected speech regardless of what's on these.
No.
Regardless of the Constitution, isn't it?
No, it's not, sir. It's whether or not what you did that day, the state can prove whether or not it was a crime.
Okay, then.
Attempt to dump litter. So, I think we're done with this.
No. Wait, you just said that it doesn't depend on the content or does depend on the content.
No, he didn't answer that question, and I said that you can't ask that question of him. Do you have anything further, State?
Just one.
Wait a second.
No, I'm not going to wait a second.
You confused me. Wait a second. That he knew we were flying. He knows about the First Amendment. He knows about the protected activity. He ought to know about it. He's a police officer.
He knows it. He knows what the First Amendment is, and he knows what constitutional rights are. That's what I allowed you to ask.
Yeah, so are you aware that it doesn't matter in terms of the Constitution, that it doesn't matter whether the recipient wants it or not. It's for the recipient who wants it. That's what the Constitution is about. Are you aware of that?
You're testifying now, and you're making a misstatement of the law. A misstatement of the law.
I'm
is what you're making,
clear.
and I'm instructing you not to answer that question.
Why? He ought to know that. You ought to know.
I know what you think, but again,
he opened the door.
I'm moving on, and I'm letting them do their redirect. You've asked the same question.
He opened the door. He said he knew about the Constitution.
I let you ask one question. Now you take a mile. It's enough.
What do you mean? We haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's because you've asked the same question over and over and over again.
But I'm trying to establish that this is protected activity.
It's not, it doesn't matter. I told you that already. It's about littering. It doesn't matter whether or not the speech within what you, I don't need to repeat myself again. I should get an autoplay and just press play over and over again.
Let's get this clear. I'm saying it doesn't matter the content, but it matters it's free speech, right?
Okay. No, it does not.
You opened the door.
The determination of whether or not you were littering has nothing to do with free speech. It has something to do with whether or not what you were doing was littering.
Now, would you agree?
I'm done with this conversation.
No,
this
because
argument.
if it's free speech, then this littering is moot.
Sir,
littering is moot. Wouldn't you say if this is free speech?
No,
yes.
It's not moot.
Yes. Because if it's protected, that means you can't.
Stop it. How? What? do you want me to hold you in contempt? Because I'll do it. I will do it. I've had it up to here. Then don't talk again. Go ahead.
I just, thank you, Officer. You mentioned that there were numerous baggies that you picked up that had already been distributed prior to that. Do you have an approximate number of how many baggies had already been distributed that you would be able to speak to?
I can't say exactly.
Okay, that's fine. No further questions.
You're excused. Thank you.
What? I had not a chance to question you.
You did have a chance to question it.
But I didn't get an adequate answer. I didn't get an adequate
You didn't get the
explanation.
answers maybe that you wanted, but you had every opportunity to ask questions, and you didn't ask questions other than the same one over and over again.
Well, I didn't hear the answer. What was the answer?
Enough. Do you have any further witnesses?
No, you're
Well, I have checked. Enough is
Stay
not a
right.
good enough explanation.
All right, sir, do you have any motions? Do you want to make another motion?
Yeah, motion to dismiss. Out of
Okay.
order. We have to determine the constitutionality protection aspect, right?
No, we don't. That's
Would-
a
now, with the
disagreement
Constitution-
that we're going to have that I've already ruled on, sir.
No, let's establish that if this is a protected activity, then this littering is moot, right?
No one is saying that I don't know, I never read what was in these pamphlets, but no one is charging you with saying something that isn't protected. No one has made that allegation. The state attorney's office has not charged you with a hate crime. You've been charged with littering. So as I said before, it wouldn't matter if there was nothing on that paper. It wouldn't matter if there was something on that paper. It wouldn't matter if you said stuff about Jewish people. It wouldn't matter if you said something about wanting to find a lost pet. It wouldn't matter what it said. It would not matter. So I don't have to make the determination as to what was on your flyers. So.
I know. So I agree with you. It wouldn't matter what's on the paper, but it would be protected, right? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it doesn't matter what was on the paper, whether it be protected speech or not protected speech. You're not being charged with any of that. And that's why I said over and over throughout this, it's irrelevant what was on that paper. What you're being charged with is attempting to commit dumping of litter. So again, it wouldn't matter what was on that paper. And it doesn't matter if you believe that this speech is protected, not protected, whatever you believe, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does not
Let's
matter.
establish that, right?
It does
now.
not matter.
Let's establish that now. That if it is protected, then you can't use littering to abridge that protected activity.
Sir,
Is that?
what's
please
the
answer the
plea?
question.
I've already answered your question.
What was the answer?
I've already answered your question.
Is it yes or no?
No, I'm not telling you whether or not what I believe your pamphlets mean to me, whether or not they're protected or not protected. That's not a piece of evidence in this case. What this case is about attempted commission of dumping litter.
No,
so that's what I will determine. Enough. No more. You don't need to talk.
That's what we're trying to
State,
determine.
have you rested your case?
Yes, Your Honor, the state has rested. Did you want to review the?
I don't need to. No, that's going to go into evidence as well as the rest of the evidence.
This is obviously free speech.
It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with this case.
It
Are you
does.
going to be
Why-
taking
why-
this?
why
Are
are
you
you saying-
are you going to be taking the stand and testifying on your own behalf and wanting to introduce your pamphlets?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Well, let's take a 5-minute break, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Let's do it.
A brief recess.
It really doesn't matter.
All right, court is back in session.
Strobo, you better not be trying to go to lunch.
Yes. Somebody said he's on his way.
All right. Everyone can be seated. All right, Mr. Kim, I treated your motion to dismiss after the state's close of their case as a motion, a JO, what we call a judgment of acquittal motion, and I've denied it. I think the state has presented a prima facie case as to the attempt to dump litter. And now it's your turn to present evidence and testify on your own behalf. You may do that. I will just, again, let you know that the contents of your flyers really aren't at issue here, but it will be up to you as to what you testify to. Okay, so come on up and be sworn by the clerk, and you can bring whatever evidence you want to be admitted with you. All right, Mr. Kim, you're under oath. I understand that since you're representing it yourself, you're going to have to testify in a narrative form, okay?
Okay.
You may begin. And before
I'd like to open the door to the contents of the literature, even though it really does not matter. But we've already established the going no, or have we not? I don't understand. I like to establish that first because everything I say and do builds upon that.
Upon the goyim?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's understood.
All right. So, this is a sample of what we were delivering. Every single aspect of the COVID agenda is Jewish, and it's listing names of the people behind the COVID agenda. CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, Jewish. CDC deputy director, Ann Shugat, Jewish. CDC chief of staff, Sherry Berger, Jewish. CDC chief medical officer, Mitchell Wolf, Jewish. CDC Director, Washington Office, Jeff Bregzik, Jewish. COVID Czar, Jeff Zients, Jewish. COVID Senior Advisor, Andy Slavitt, Jewish. HHS Secretary, Xavier Becerra, Shabbos Goy. HHS Assistant Health Secretary, Rachel Levine, Transgender, Jewish. Head of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, Jewish. Pfizer Chief Scientist, Mikhail Dolstin, Jewish. Moderna CEO, Stephanie Blanzel, Shabbos Goy. Moderna Chief Scientist, Tal Zaks, Jewish. BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, Jewish. BlackRock President, Robert Capito, Jewish. Vanguard CEO, Mortimer J. Buckley, Shabbos Goy. Pullman School of Medicine, Drew Weissman, Jewish. Chief Scientist, Gamaleya Institute, Anatoly Altstein, Jewish. Director, Gamaleya Institute, Alexander Ginsberg, Jewish. Chief Medical Officer, Johnson & Johnson, Joanne Waldstreicher, Jewish. Chief Medical Officer, Merck. Michael Rosenblatt, Jewish. Executive Chairman, World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, Jewish. Head Advisor, World Economic Forum, Yuval Noah Harari, Jewish. So it says for more info, visit gtvflyers.com. And you can find these flyers there. Here, Goyim Defense League. See, Goyim is relevant because we know what this court and who's behind influencing the officers under color of the law. We know, let's establish. So everything that I say builds upon that. See, so here, behind the homosexual agenda, Jews are behind the homosexual agenda.
I just have to ask you again, what relevance, if any, can you say that reading off what your pamphlets said, how does that have any relevance to the charge of littering?
Well, I'm trying to...
I'm asking you this, I'm not asking you this to elicit evidence from you. I'm asking you this just because I made a ruling at the beginning of this trial. The state adhered to it. that you were not, none of this was relevant as to what was in your pamphlets and your flyers on the date in question. So if you're going to testify, would you please try to comport with what the court's order was? And maybe you should concentrate on why you believe you weren't littering that day. Why what you were doing does not constitute the crime with which you are charged.
I thought I was doing that. I was showing like what we were delivering, what was on, what we were delivering, the message, even though it is maybe not relevant to littering, it is relevant maybe possibly to the free speech aspect.
Right. There's no aspect of free speech, as I ruled from the beginning. This isn't about free speech. It's about littering.
No, but see, I want to make it about free speech.
I understand that you want to make it about free speech, but I ruled that it is not about free speech and it's about littering.
Well, that's what.
Attempting to dump litter.
Okay, so, but that is why I'm entering this evidence. I'm going here. You open the door. So, this is a site, gtvflyers.com, where you can find the flyers. And the police officers, they've already testified that they knew that we were coming to deliver flyers.
Overruled. All right, sir. So are you trying to introduce those into evidence?
Yes, I would like to introduce this as the evidence. This, and then there's more here.
State objects, lack of foundation, evidence.
All right, I'm going to take a look at what he wants to introduce into evidence.
Well, there was a few more flyers. I think it might be for the night regarding 9/11. But you can find it all at the site.
Well, nobody's going to the site, and what you have to introduce into evidence today is what will be introduced into evidence today if I find that there's a foundation and that you've authenticated these things. So you're telling me that what is on these pamphlets is what you were handing out that day or throwing out that day.
That and I want to testify that this is factual information. We welcome any corrections. If people can find anything that's inaccurate, please let us know, and then we'll fix it or we'll stop. Okay? So it's factual information. It's trying to make a point that I want to make. I want to make the point that this is a protected activity, right? That this is all support. So I also want to enter into evidence. These are we have an Android application that tracks where we've delivered, so we can track where we delivered the flyers. So we have recording of all that. We paid money to rent a truck. We live streamed the whole event. So why it really doesn't make sense. I mean, just on a plane, simple.
You're arguing, and what you're supposed to be doing is testifying right now as to.
Yeah, testifying that it was delivered in an orderly fashion, new materials at the time of delivery. Yes, inevitably, some may fall, maybe in a public space, or maybe, they don't want it and they throw it. But see, the littering case has to be, in this case, at the time of the delivery. And at the time we delivered, you saw the evidence there. They're brand new bags, new materials, all individually hand inspected multiple times. You see the container that the flyers are in. It doesn't, we took great care and to deliver these as we weighted them down. so they wouldn't blow away. They're protected by the plastic baggies. There's been a lot of effort to protect the message that's inside the baggie. So why these officers under color of law and also this court and the prosecution, why they keep calling it litter is really beyond me. So I'd like to enter in, let's go to the contents because I'd like to get record of why you're pushing if it is free speech, which it is. Littering is moot. Littering is a moot point. That's why it is relevant. You say it's not relevant, but it's relevant. And I'm entering that in right now, that I'm opening the door to the relevance of the First Amendment.
All right, sir. Give me your documents. State, I'll let you look at them before I look at them. The state needs to be able to inspect any documents that you wish to call functions.
I think there's one more. This, I like to enter, and I like to enter this.
Your Honor, just for purposes of the record, the state would object to the 3 flyers due to relevance and lack of foundation. For the 2 other items the defendant is seeking to introduce, the state would not object to those.
Oh, yeah, here.
All right.
Which is the U-Haul and the map
These 2.
screenshot.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go through them on the record and identify them. It's going to be a composite exhibit.
Okay, so there are 6 flyers that the defendant is seeking to introduce. The state objects to those. The state does not object to the U-Haul receipt or the screenshot of the state of Florida.
All right. I can't do this as a composite. They are not going to be a composite. And again, the only reason the court is admitting these is apparently the defendant believes that his defense to this is First Amendment. The first one is baby penis sucking is Jewish. That's Exhibit 1. Defense Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is ADL established in 1913 to protect Jewish child murderer, pedophile. Number 3 is Jewish media. Number 4, relative to Jewish people and gay people. Number 5 is the COVID agenda and Jewish people. Number 6 is the U-Haul receipt for this incident. Number 7 is a screenshot of the Florida coastline, it appears. Do you have anything further to add to your testimony, Mr. Kim? You'll have an opportunity to do a closing argument.
It's really very simple. So.
Well, that'll be for closing argument. So you have nothing left as far as your testimony is concerned. Do you have any, would you like to renew your motion for judgment of acquittal?
Yeah, pardon?
Would you like to renew your motion to dismiss the case / I call it, it's a judgment of acquittal is what I treated it as.
Yes. Motion to dismiss, yes.
Okay. It's denied.
Can I get a clear explanation? All things considered, all things that there may be treasonous hostile forces behind influencing this court?
Denied.
No, that's it appears as though this court is behaving treasonously. There's good reason to believe that, right? Evidence in this court. The First Amendment was written to protect us just from this type of persecution. Wouldn't you agree? As the judge, as the knowledge person of the law.
This is not a question and answer session between you and I, sir.
Okay, let me testify then. Let me testify that
You were testifying and then you got off the stand. And then
well,
you
let me, can I testify here?
I think that it's time for you to do closing arguments because what you're saying is nothing more than argument.
Well, I want to enter my testimony in as evidence to support my argument.
All right.
Is that
what further testimony might you have? You can testify from there. You're still under oath.
okay? Yeah, it is obvious. They're really, besides the flyer which we are delivering, which is the substance that's delivered charge. Right. It's also I guess I did point out that you could find these flyers and then that Goyim Defense League is the loose network association. We're the Goyim know. I'm going to make that perfectly clear. So that and that this procedure, the process of this trial is I want to testify that it's my testimony that is very highly irregular, and all things considered, that the subject matter of our propaganda, subject matter of these charges, it's a coincidence, right? It's trying to protect us from exactly what's happening in this courtroom right now. Wouldn't you not? Can you see that? Or I that's what I'm seeing. That is my testament. That is what I. Okay, so I'm done.
All right. Thank you. All right. I've already denied the second motion for judgment of acquittal, although it was termed as a motion to dismiss. That's the court is treating it as the second motion for judgment of acquittal. It is denied. I'll hear closing arguments from the state.
Motion to dismiss. We've already
denied.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. To prove the crime of attempt to commit dumping of letter, the state must prove the following two elements beyond a reasonable doubt. One, that the defendant did some act towards committing the crime of dumping of letter that went beyond just thinking or talking about it. And two, that he would have committed the crime except that someone prevented him from committing the crime of dumping of letter. Through the testimony of the four witnesses and the evidence presented, none of that appears to be in any factual dispute. The crime of dumping of litter is defined as dumping litter in any manner. One, in amount exceeding 15 pounds in weight, but not exceeding 500 pounds in weight, and not for commercial purposes. Officer Elliot testified that the baggies weighed 47.5 pounds, satisfying that element. And that the letter was distributed in or any public highway, road, street, alley, or thoroughfare, including any of the right-of-way thereof, or on private property without having obtained the prior consent of the owner, and such litter caused a public nuisance. You heard the testimony from Sergeant Preusz that the litter was distributed onto the public roadways. You heard the testimony of Mr. Sinclair and Mr. Clemente that they considered this to be garbage, that they did not, and the defendant did not obtain their prior consent, and that they were bothered by the litter, which would constitute a public nuisance, and you know, we've gotten into a dispute about what it means to litter, but litter is defined in the statute means any, as relevant to this, any personal property, garbage, rubbish, trash, refuse, paper. And you heard the testimony of the witnesses who considered this to be garbage, and the defendant was identified as the driver of the vehicle, and the statute makes clear that when any litter is thrown or discarded from a motor vehicle, the operator of the motor vehicle commits the crime of dumping of litter. Sergeant Preusz went to confiscate the bag that you see right here because he was informed that the defendants intended to continue distributing the litter, and the defendant's own testimony indicated his intent to continuing distributing the litter. So for all of those reasons, the state believes it has met all the elements of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt, and would ask the court to return a finding of guilty.
Thank you. Mr. Kim, you can stand back there, right there at the podium. So. Where the microphone.
Can I respond to prosecution?
It's your time to respond as far as argument is concerned. Yes, sir.
I'd like to address the prosecution. What he said, that it's not, inevitably, some of the material is going to be litter, but that's not the matter of this trial. The court is trying to make this a littering matter, but it is a First Amendment protected activity matter. Because if we establish that needs to be established first. That's why I say the court is out of order. That needs to be, because if we establish that this is a protected activity, then the littering charge is moot. So, you inevitably, but we have to make some allowance for littering. That's what protection means. That means there's an extra wiggle room. If it were free speech is unpopular speech. If it was popular speech, we wouldn't need these rules. That's what the rules are for.
That's the court, not the prosecution.
That's the court. Okay. That's what the Constitution is for, to protect the people, the goyim of the United States, from a tyrannical government. That's what exactly is supposed to protect for this. This the Constitution, the First Amendment, free speech, Second Amendment, too. Right to bear is to protect the public, the people, from a tyrannical government. And that's what's going on here right now. So that's why I want to get all these decisions clearly in writing, which I have not received. And the recording is a joke. I haven't received the digital download of the pre-trial. So it's being rushed. That's why I object to not being able to record it, because this is a treasonous prosecution. I want to establish free speech, yet the court won't allow me to. And I haven't gotten a very good explanation of the reason why, because it is very apparent. It's plain and simple, common sense that this is literature, not litter. The police, before they stopped this, knew we were coming. They knew we were flying. So this littering argument is really evidence. That's why. This littering argument is evidence of censorship. And under color of law, that's a very serious matter. So I want to make that as my closing argument. So all the witnesses, they testified. All the witnesses testified that they saw that there was a flyer inside, and they looked at it, and they knew, and they reacted to it. Yet they said it was, they keep describing it as litter. So the witness testimony in general witness testimony practically should not be allowed in particular this case. That is really a big injustice, and really, it's very plain to see what's going on here. Okay, so that is my a motion to dismiss out of order. We have not established the constitutionality of this activity yet, and it's material to the littering charge. I still haven't seen that. And all the witnesses, they testify. Even Mr. Sinclair, Mr. Other guy, they saw that there was literature in here. And we see here that, okay, maybe all of those weigh more than 50 pounds, but we're delivering them a bag at a time, so the charges don't even apply. The charges had not been, so I'd like to enter in another motion to dismiss, no good grounds shown. Please, no grounds shown for the charges, because this is the bag of all the flyers that we delivered. It's literature, not litter. Please, common sense, third grade, please. Okay?
Mr. Kim, do you wish to keep self-representing?
Yes.
All right. The court finds that the defendant David Kim is guilty of attempting to commit dumping of litter. The court sentences the defendant to 6 months of probation with the special conditions of 150 community service hours, and special conditions also of no new law violations, including any municipal law ordinance violation or county law ordinance violation, and standard court cost fines and a $50 cost of prosecution, which I believe is the standard, is it not? Now, Mr. Kim, we have another littering trial coming up for you on October 4th. Do you wish to resolve that matter today with the court, or would you like to have another trial?
I'd like to.
All right.
Can I make a statement?
Yes.
Okay. I motion appeal. This is ridiculous.
You may file any appeal that you wish to, sir.
Your Honor, for the judgment, is the defendant adjudicated guilty?
Adjudicated guilty.
And also for purposes of the record, the defendant is assessed the $55 a month probation services?
Yes. Mr. Kim, do you wish to have a jury or a non-jury trial next time? On October 4th.
Do I have to make a decision right now?
Well, actually, it's up to the state as well. Is the second information a first-degree misdemeanor?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
So you would be asking for a jury?
All right.
Your Honor, the state would ask for a jury. However, if the defendant waives his right to a jury, or waives his right to a jury trial, the state is fine proceeding at his bench trial without waiving adjudication in more jail.
Okay. Defendants should be here at 8:30 on October 4th for the second trial. If we're going to proceed by jury, I would like to do that. Can you make sure that the next court date, which is October 4th, will be for jury trial? We can change that later on if we want to, but it should be commenced at 8:30 a.m.
Thanks, sir.
All right.
All right, thank you all.
Take it.
We'll be in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Scam alert. Do not give money to Goyim Defense League or Handsome Truth.